WYLN, I'm Gary Kern. Today my guest, County Manager Dave Pedri. We're going to talk about some things that are going on in Luzerne County. We're going to talk about the upcoming budget and some advances that were made thanks to the County Manager and the great team in Luzerne County. All that coming up right here in Topic A, only on WYLN.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Northeast Pennsylvania. Scenic beauty, close-knit communities. We're neighbors helping neighbors. Lehigh Valley Health Network is bringing you leading-edge cancer treatment that's close to home, robotic surgery for quicker recoveries, world-class heart care and access to top specialists, all from Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton and our 15 community locations. Neighbors caring for Greater Hazleton and beyond. Lehigh Valley Health Network.
What's on TV? Plenty. WYLN TV 35, the best in local programming.
Welcome back to Topic A here on WYLN, everyone. I'm Gary Kern. I'm very pleased to have with me Luzerne County Manager Dave Pedri, again here on Topic A. And Dave, thanks so much for coming down.
Oh, thank you for having me. I live in Butler Township. Easy commute to work.
Easy one today, but not so easy sometimes. And we're going to talk about the budget.
Sure.
The 2019 budget you proposed to put out there did come with a 3% tax increase because of so many projects that are going on. Within probably hours of you putting that budget out, we had some council members come out and say, "Well, let's take it. We're going to look at it as part of their job and see what we could do." But that budget, there's a lot that is going on in Luzerne County, and there's a lot that people kind of don't realize that need to happen behind the scenes. So, you know, what led you to the 2019 budget and the increase?
Well, I mean, like, we're talking about a budget of over $300 million, and it's a workforce of over 1,500 people. And people don't really truly understand the size of Luzerne County. I mean, Luzerne County is the second largest county in the state of Pennsylvania. The entire state of Rhode Island fits within Luzerne County. I mean, it's an incredibly large geographic area. So we provide the services for this. So 911, emergency management, anything to do with the courts, the sheriff's department. You know, like we run an incredibly large area of services to the citizens of Luzerne County. Listen, and unfortunately, everything goes up. So I'm asking for a 3% increase this year. That comes down to an $100,000 piece of property. That's $18 a year, $1.50 a month. And, you know, we don't do these things lightly, Gary. We were able to come in the 2018 budget this time last year with a 0% tax increase. And that's phenomenal. But, you know, everything goes up, unfortunately. Our pension, we raised that number, how much we provide to our pension. Healthcare goes up for county employees. We have to provide those services. And we also took this time in this budget to fix our revenues. In the past, some of these other budgets had inflated revenues, numbers that we could never hit, but they look good on paper.
Right.
But we took this time in this budget to say, you know what, let's fix these, let's get an accurate number, so let's really run a business as to how we're going to do it.
And I know over the last few years that you've been at the helm, we've seen a lot of projects that were kind of pushed down the road that you said, we got to get in, we have to make these functional for the county employees, for the citizens who are coming into the services, and that's continuing with this. And you are going to face, and I think you are facing now, a mandate from the federal government to revamp your 911 services here. So that's another thing that you can only kick down the road so far.
Listen, I always say you don't judge a tree by the fruit it says it's going to bear. You judge a tree by the fruit that it's going to bear. And people are tired of politicians always just saying, "Here's what we're going to do," but then. I think what I'm proudest of in my 2 years is that we were able to get things accomplished. We're able to get things done. We fixed the rotunda of the Luzerne County Courthouse, which is a once-in-a-lifetime building. That was a $2 million project, but the beauty of that county courthouse has to be sustained, and it has to be a part of that. And all of these things come into play. And so we look at the 911 system. We're talking about public safety. When it comes to public safety, you don't want to cut corners. We have a mandate from the federal government saying we got to move from an analog system to a digital system. And we can't push this ball down the field anymore without saying, we have to take a look at these things. That's going to cost almost $20 million. It may be a borrowing in 2019 to do that, but it's not something that we take lightly. We do our due diligence, get the best deal for it, help out with our municipalities as best we possibly can, but we will not shortchange public safety.
I know last year, or in the 2018 budget cycle, I should say, you were able to open up the new county records facility along with the new facility for the county coroner. And this is a great facility because you were able now to go to one place and find all the county records. The coroners and deputy coroners were able now to go to one place and conduct their business. And this was something that has never happened in the county.
So I looked over the archives. We started talking about the records retention building in early 2001 or something along those lines. So it's been an 18-year process. And people say, we should really do something with these county records. Here's what comes down to the records, Gary. This isn't something that is, incredibly exciting or anything along those lines, but they're important.
Right.
They tell the history of Luzerne County. They tell the story of Luzerne County. And where we had them in was a warehouse that had consistent water issues, mold issues, infestation of sometimes bugs and those types of things. We had issues there, and we were paying over $100,000 a year for that warehouse space. Enough's enough. The county council purchased a building in 2015. It's been revamped. It is now climate controlled and open to the public. That has a public search area they can get in there. The coroner's office, has a location that can be open to our deputy coroners and our funeral directors 24/7. One place to do business. One place for autopsies. These are things that we have to do as a county. We're public servants. We got to provide these services to these people and make sure that our records are taken care of. And now we have a building that we can be truly proud of.
Over the last few years in the county, we've seen a humongous growth with the county responsibility, that the county is stepping up to the plate and saying, these are things we need to do. This building being one of them, working hand in hand with many county agencies that wasn't happening before. And it all kind of ties into providing the services, the budget, bringing everything together. So, in the last 2 years with you being at the helm, how has this worked? How have we been able to consistently have county departments work together, not against each other, and be able to provide the services they need to?
Well, I appreciate that, Gary. I mean, listen, I think that the home rule government is set up, or we changed over governments in 2012, and our home rule government is set up so that we run as a business. Now, government isn't a business, and I understand that, but there are certain aspects of business that we need to take into account. We need to make sure our HR is correct, and we need to make sure those type of things. But getting people out of our silos has been one of my major goals. Why can't aging work with mental health on an issue? Why can't our children and youth work with our prison? We're all one county. Now that we've been able to break down those silos, we can really truly effectuate some real change here.
All right, we're going to take a break right there. When we come back, a lot of work is being done in Lower Luzerne County thanks to the county manager and some great projects that are happening. We're going to talk about those and why now they're starting to look at some voting places and what are some of the problems they're having. We're going to talk about those coming up. Stay with us. We'll be right back here on Topic.
minutes away. That's right, you're just minutes away from a great deal on a new car, truck, or SUV from Barber Ford. 2 great locations, Exeter and Hazleton. The best deals on America's #1 brand are just 19 minutes from Scranton, 15 minutes from Wilkes-Barre, 12 minutes from Old Forge, 18 minutes from Mountaintop, and 28 minutes from Berwick. Barber Ford in Exeter and Barber Ford in Hazleton. Start your new car search today at barberautogroup.com, where nobody but nobody sells for less.
I'm Gary Perna, news director and reporter for WYLN News. With a decade of experience in local news, I'm proud to be part of the #1 local news team, WYLN News. When local news happens, you can count on WYLN News to be there, whether it's in McAdoo, Harrisburg, or right here in Hazleton. We've worked hard to be your #1 local news station, and we'll continue to work hard to stay #1.
Non-attorney spokesperson. Attention! Have you been seriously injured or has a loved one been killed in a motor vehicle accident?
Call 800-305-5643.
For a free legal case review, you may be entitled to compensation. Personal injuries can happen at any point in your lifetime, and in a few seconds, you or a loved one may suffer debilitating injuries that could change your life forever. For over 25 years, the Pulaski Law Firm has been an advocate for those who have been seriously injured. Let the lawyers at the Pulaski Law Firm get the compensation you may justly deserve. If you have been seriously injured and suffered permanent injuries, burns, and broken bones, or a loved one has been killed because of a car, truck, or motorcycle accident,
Call 800-305-5643.
get some peace of mind now.
Call 800-305-5643.
For a free consultation, you may be entitled to compensation.
Call 800-305-5643.
You've seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas. But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone. Go anywhere. Create! And with 20 campuses to choose from, you'll always feel at home.
Look, Penn State is amazing, but your best years are just beginning. Come find out for yourself.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. You'll meet Jim Joseph, a gentleman with a rich history in serving his country and his community. He's going to help enlighten you on services that are available for veterans and how they can seek good chiropractic care. His story and his advice this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Join us.
And welcome back here to Topic A on WYLN, everyone. County Manager Dave Pedri's here with me. And I want to go back a little bit to the budget, Dave. Right now, you guys are paying somewhere north of like $26 million just for debt. So that's a huge chunk. I mean, all right, realistically, $300 million budget, but that's still a huge chunk of your budget that's going to past debt that needs to be paid.
Yeah, listen, in 2012, the first county council was handed a $468 million debt that the commissioners entered into. It's very, very difficult to deal with regard to the budget. And I'm proud to say, and I'm probably the only county manager in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that's proud to be just under $300 million in debt right now. I mean, listen, I joke about it, but that's still a huge number. And we've paid off over $170 million of debt in the space of 6 years. I mean, we have really been cutting down this debt, and we're living according to our budgets and living within our means. But every single year, if you're talking about really of the $300 million, $140 million of that is really what we have to do for the general operating fund. $26 million of that goes to pay the debt. $30 million of that goes to run our prison. We haven't turned the lights on in the courthouse. I haven't paid a person yet. I haven't done anything with regard to any county issues yet. And $56 million is already out the door.
And you just said it right there at the county prison, that's one of your biggest expenditures. $30 million goes to operate that facility. And I mean, and you're talking corrections officers, needs that need to be taken care of there, the facility itself. And that facility itself is an aging, problem-prone building for the county.
Without a doubt. And listen, the Luzerne County Correctional Facility was built in the 1860s, upgraded throughout the years. There was in the 1980s, they put an 8-story building in the middle of it. But this is the facility that we have. Now listen, if somebody commits a crime in Luzerne County, they go to the prison. And we bathe them, we take care of them if they're sick, we clothe them, we feed them. All those things cost money to run that facility 24/7. And that's for the benefit of our citizens to keep those citizens safe. We work on things like prison population control. If somebody comes into our prison and they need to go to another prison, we get them out as soon as possible. But it's an ongoing process. Really, people are talking about new prisons, those type of things. But in reality, Gary, we're going to be out of debt, and it looks like 2029. I really don't see us moving forward with a giant debt for a new prison until that time period.
Yeah, and when you talk about the prison, there's a lot of moving aspects to that. And you have a constant flow of prisoners coming in, going out, things that are happening. And that's something that you, along with the District Attorney's Office, Public Defender's Office, there's a lot that really goes into that. So it's not a cut and dry issue. There's a lot that happens.
Listen, that's a facility, a society unto itself. The prison. Our director, Mark Rakovich, does a phenomenal job running it. We're lucky to have him and his staff on board and to do some really great things there. But listen, that runs 24/7, and also the people you're dealing with are sometimes some dangerous criminals. Okay, so those are all things that need to be taken care of. We talk about safety. It's a big issue, but it's something we have to do.
We'll get away from that for a little bit. I want to go to some of the projects that were announced this year, especially those in Lower Luzerne County. Something that I know has been talked about and people have been wanting for many years is the extension of 424 into the industrial park. This year, some federal funds came available that you guys were able to jump on, help kickstart that project and get it going hopefully in 2019.
This is a great project. This is the 424 extension, and this 424 extension will go right off of Route 81 onto Route 424, the Hazleton South Beltway, and go right into the back of the Humboldt Industrial Park. This supports job creation and supports economic growth. If anyone out there has been stuck on 924, when you're caught in a shift change on Amazon, you got to say there's got to be some other way to come around this, and this is the way to come down. We've worked with PennDOT, and we've worked with the Hazel Township supervisors as well on this, as well as Can Do. We were thrilled to announce that we were able to take federal funds, so this is no Luzerne County taxpayer dollars, but we were able to take federal funds and allocate $1.8 million to this project that will tie in White Birch Road in the Humboldt Industrial Park to Route 424, and it can't be done quick enough. I think that it's a difficult project. I'm hoping we're going to start the project in spring of 2019, and hopefully it'll be done in a year to 2 years. It's a major issue that we have to get done, but it's got to alleviate that congestion there. People should be able to go to work safely and come home safely. We have kids that go on school buses in and out of there. We got to make sure that people can get to work safely. And really, if you ask me, I think that's what county government should be able to do for economic development. I think we should set the groundwork, help people, and then get out of the way.
And something, and I think people may not realize a lot, is Luzerne County does have a number of county-owned road and bridges where, some counties may have a few bridges or a couple roads. Luzerne County has a lot they have to maintain.
I get jealous when I hear those other guys about they have 4 miles of roads, 8 bridges. We have 128 miles of road, Gary, and over 300 bridges in Luzerne County. Wow. So literally, if you want to buy a bridge, Gary, let me know, because I got 300 for sale we can get rid of. But those roads have to be maintained, and the potholes and the paving projects. We're doing a giant paving project in Butler Township, Sugarloaf, and Cunningham in spring of 2019. Foothills Road from 309 all the way through 93 will be paved, full depth reclamation all the way down to the bottom, all the way back up. Wow. One of our problem areas. And people say, well, why can't you just fill the potholes? And we do fill the potholes, but you got to understand, for a full paving project, you're talking about $300,000 per mile. So that's a 7-mile project. That's $2.1 million going out the door. So we have to say, what's the worst? Where do we go? Where do we allocate our resources best? I'm happy to make these projects happen in Lower Luzerne County, though.
All right, we're going to stop right there. When we come back, some problems with voting places and getting people actually to help on Election Day, too. We'll be right back with that here on Topic A.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Watch Off the Beaten Path on WYLN TV 35 and discover the Pennsylvania you never knew existed. For over 25 years, Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg, has provided professionally designed skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields. All stations are handicap accessible with resident NRA certified shooting instructors on site. Packages are available to fit anyone's budget, and there is a restaurant and catering on site. The facility is also available for weddings, business meetings, bachelor parties, private parties of any kind. Call 570-384-2314.
In a world where an instant tweet can create a firestorm of news coverage, WYLN is moving with the times, allowing for more instant reporting of breaking news on television and on social media, as well as regular hourly news updates. News gets out faster than ever before, and WYLN brings it all to you. Live weekdays at 5:30 only on WYLN. We're your local network.
Welcome back here to Topic A on WYLN. I'm Gary Perna. I have County Manager Dave Pedri with me. And Dave, Luzerne County is facing a problem where we don't have enough people to help on Election Day. So these are the poll workers, the judge of elections, inspectors, those type of people. And also, you're running out of places to have polling places as well.
Listen, one of the biggest things the county does is we have elections. And it's 2 days a year, but it's really a year-round process to prepare for these things. We throw in campaign finance and everything along those lines. We have an issue, like every other county across the state, on our poll workers, inspectors, judges of elections. Every one of these poll places by law has to have those people serving in those locations. And this is what I'll put out to the people who watch WYLN. If you're interested in serving in any of those capacities or volunteering or doing anything for Election Day, please reach out to our Election Bureau. Go to our website, LuzerneCounty.org, or give them a call and tell them that you're interested in helping out for those 2 particular days. Take a little bit of your time, but it's a public service that we have to provide. But it is more and more difficult to find people who want to be involved with those polling places. And the number of polling places is also an issue. We throw into Americans with Disabilities Act accommodations. We have to consistently look for different areas to find for people to vote in. But it's something that we have to do. And we got to be there for those things. You throw that into the governor's mandate that we have to have new voting machines in 2020. We got a lot of stuff going on in elections, Gary.
Yeah. Well, and that that leads to me to this. We have so many polling places in Luzerne County with so few workers. Can anything be consolidated? Can anything be scaled back? How's this process work? Does it go by population? Because it seems like there's a lot of, to me, and just here in Hazleton City, there's a lot of polling places for not a lot of people who turn out to vote.
It's so the polling places are set by legislature, and then we need to work with those. We've been seeking to consolidate some, to move some in order to we've taken the first step to a lot of different things we got electronic poll books this year. So if you come to vote, you put in your name, It tells you exactly where you should be voting and everything along those lines, so you don't have to worry about going to another location or flipping through those big paper books anymore. So those are all steps we have to do, but we have to talk about consolidation. But listen, at the same time, we don't want to disenfranchise voters. We want to make sure people have the ability to get out there and vote. Our goal in Luzerne County is always get out the vote. We get out the vote as possibly can. We do outreach. We try to get students involved. We try to do as much as we possibly can. We want to make sure people have that want to vote can vote. I just saw Uber and Lyft will offer free rides to polling places on Election Day, which is a wonderful thing. We got to do those types of things. So we talk about consolidation. We always have to do those things. Are we doing things the smart way? But at the same time, we don't want to cut too deep where people can't get to the polling places.
And it's amazing to me to see every year the struggle, especially you guys have to go through to find polling places and people to work. When the voter turnout over the last number of years in elections is down county-wide, it's really down statewide. But I mean, you look at Hazleton, and I think the last election, it was something less than 50% of registered voters were coming out to vote. So you have polling places that may see 50 people in that day, and another polling place that may see, 150 people a day. And you have these buildings open, you're going through all this stuff, or it just seems like it's a part of a wasteful having people sit in one place, you're not enough people in another place, and it just seems like there's no cut, dry, easy way of handling it.
I think we have to take it really, Gary, literally polling place by polling place, and we gotta say, okay, this one right here, how many people do we have going to it? What's their consistent number showing up? Is this something we can look to consolidate? And if we do consolidate, who do we consolidate it with, and how do we get there? And how will those people get there? Is there enough parking? Is there those? So those are all considerations we have to take into account. I would say that we do have to probably look to consistently consolidate, but I don't want people to say, I'm not going to vote because I have to drive an extra 10 minutes.
And along those same lines, you just said, we've talked about where people are sitting around and there's not a lot of people coming out. But in the Back Mountain, you've actually had to add a polling place.
And in the Back Mountain, we had some population growth. And so we had 3 polling places in one facility. The lines were huge. The presidential election, we had to keep them open past 8 o'clock. I mean, like by rule of the judge of elections. It's a huge location. So that's a population that's growing. Those individuals, there's now another polling place for one of those districts to go into. So we have to consistently work with these things. Our population is consistently changing. 320,000 people live in Luzerne County, and the numbers change. We got to grow with it.
Quickly before we end the show, the new county website's out. This is a great tool for people to go on and get all types of information. So I know something you worked for to make sure that everything was on the website that people can go and find.
Yeah, please go to www.luzernecounty.org. In that location, you're going to see every contract, every email that council sends to me. We're going to see photos of Luzerne County. We're going to see what every little department's doing. If you want to book the courthouse for a wedding, that tells you how to do it. I mean, the website has been a phenomenal tool for us, and that's how we get our word out, and we finally have a good face on Luzerne County.
And it's great to hear a lot of advances being done in Luzerne County. I think for a long time we heard a lot of the negatives, but there's so much good now happening in the county, thanks to the council, the manager, and your department heads that you have up there at the
It's
courthouse.
little steps, Gary, and I appreciate that very much.
All right. Dave, thanks so much for coming out and talking with me. We welcome you back anytime. A lot going on in Luzerne County. Get involved. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Get involved and help out and give back to the community you live in. Thanks for joining us here thanks for joining us here on Topic A. Be a part of your community. We'll see you next time on WYLN.